Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Otumba Adams Show. My name is Adam Solafimilajide, and you guys are welcome. Especially, how is life treating you? How is your business? How is everything you hold dear to you? Today, being the seventh day in the month of September, this is the first episode we are having in this month, and it's a pleasure being here with you guys again today. All right, so if this is the first time of you being a part of the show and you're wondering what we are about or what I am about or what this whole show is about. Basically, I talk about entrepreneurship leadership, I talk about freelancing and every other thing that could actually help you on your journey in the business world. All right, so before I came live today, I got a call to go pick up an item, and then since I got back, I have been sweating profusely. So I'll be using this from time to time just to clean my face because I am a bit tired. All right, so on this episode, we are looking at how to become an unforgettable mentor, how to become an unforgettable mentor. And why did I come about this topic? I realized that like I have spoken about being or finding a mentor so many times, but then I also realized that like a lot of us someday would become mentors to other people, or some of us right now are already mentors to people. And if you're not doing the whole mentor mentee thing properly, at the end of the day, you would lose those people that you're meant to mentor. And if what goes wrong, that like you're not a good mentor on the long run, right? People would move back from associating with you. And also, it might ruin your reputation on the long run. And that is why I decided to create this episode. And if you should see anything flying across the screen, rather, it's some butterfly that I really cannot explain. All right, so if you're there, you'd like to introduce yourself, you know how you normally do it. Just put your name, your location in the comment section, and I would welcome you specially. So on today's episode, I have about 7 points I have listed out, and I would be taking them one after the other. I think I actually have a sore, no, not I think, I have a sore throat, right? I have had this thing within my throat for the past few days, so please pardon my voice if it sounds a bit coarse today. All right, so the first point I have here is I am going to quickly correct this because there's a slight error there. Is have a solid communication. All right. If you're going to be a great mentor, the mentee, the second part is you need to know your mentee well enough. So you need to be able to like ask questions to know their background and the baggage that they are bringing in, right? Where they're coming from, where they are, and then where they hope to be, which is the third point. Like you need to know what your mentee would like to learn from you on the long run. Once you know these 3 points, you would be able to create a solid communication between the both of you. Communication is key to mentorship. But if you do not know what the person wants to learn from you, and then you're just assuming, right, that this is what the person would like or is supposed to learn, on the long run, you'd only be giving advice to things that are really not needed or are not what the person that came to you to be your mentee actually needs. So you need to know what you're offering, right? Know where the person is coming from, and also know what the person would like to learn. That's the first part. That's the basis or the foundation for your communication. And then constant communication between the both of you would be very, very smooth. All right. So number 2 on the list is you need to learn to listen. You need to learn to listen. One of the things that like I realized a lot of people do is that when someone comes to you, right, someone that sees you as a mentor comes to you and then comes to confide in you, a lot of the time we or some people, I would not say we in this case, some people are so quick to want to give advice, to want to give the wise saying that we fail to listen to what the person is actually trying to pass across or what the person is actually trying to ask. Just because you heard something and then you feel that like, yes, this is the point that like I must jump in. But patient enough to listen to what the person has to say, right? When the person has said everything that they need to say, if you need to ask questions, ask them, is there anything more? Or try to like unravel where everything is coming from. Because there are times that like people would actually give part information just to see if you're actually listening. And if you're listening, you would know that, like, okay, I need to ask more questions in this area. I need to like open this thing up because there's much more to what this guy is saying than what is. All right. So when you listen, when you learn to listen, you would know when to ask questions. You would know when not to even talk at all, because there are times that like people would come to you, right? Not like they are seeking for advice. They just want you to listen to them at that point in time. So you need to know what angle these people are coming from. All right. Are they trying to like seek for advice from you? Are they trying to just bear their heart out? Right. They want you to listen to them. They want someone to listen to them. And at that point in time, you as the mentor has to learn to listen. If you can do this, right, I can assure you that like a lot of people would hold you in high esteem. All right. Learning to listen is a real talent that like so many people do not have. They really do not have it. All right. So number 3 on the list is set achievable goals for your mentee. Now, it is not just for you to be there as the mentor and like you just keep giving advice, right? You should be able to hold your mentee accountable, also give them goals and targets to meet. All right. Because if you do not let them walk, if you are always spoon feeding them, then they would never grow. But you need to make them to also do the work by setting achievable goals for them. And if they do not meet up to it, give them a second chance. But if it shows that, like, hey, this person is constantly not ready to work, but still calls you a mentor, then you have to reevaluate the relationship that both of you actually have together. All right. So give them things to do, make them responsible for their actions. Tell them, like, okay, fine, you've come to me for advice. I need you to do this, this, and this, and then submit it in the next 2 weeks, in the next 3 weeks. And from there, you would know how serious they actually are. All right. So learn to set achievable goals for your mentee. Number 4 on my list is earn their trust. This is very important. Now, what do I mean by earn their trust? Over time, I have realized that like a lot of people that are in the position of mentors tend to take this part for granted, in the sense that like someone comes to you to confide in you, right? The next thing you literally go about telling other people about that person's situation, that person's hurt, all in the name of you're trying to like show to the world that like people talk to you and then like you give advice to people. Now, you would not earn that person's trust that way. All right. You need to let people know that, like, when they come to you, they are in a safe space. All right. As a mentor, when your mentors come to you, they know that, like, whatever is said here stays here. All right. And when you also go out of your way for them, you give value beyond what they actually ask of you. It goes a long way for them to trust you. All right. Now, there's one of the things that like, or there are 3 points like we say when it comes to internet marketing. I'm kind of digressing right now. We say that like your audience needs to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you. That trust is very important when it comes to the mentor and mentee relationship. Please make sure that like you earn their trust. It is very important. And also they need to earn your trust. Also, like, it has to be a two-way affair. It is not just you giving your best out to them. They also need to show commitment. All right. I know I have discussed it in the parts where I spoke about, like in the topic where I spoke about how to get a great mentor. But this time around, in your own case, you also need to earn their trust by showing yourself trustworthy. All right. So that's number 4 on the list. Number 5 on the list is learn to celebrate their wins. All right. It is not every time that like you would see things, or like you keep pushing them. Yes, your role as a mentor is to push them to do better, but when they have little wins, no matter how tiny it is, celebrate it with them, because it actually goes a long way. It goes to show that, like, hey, this person wants the best for me. This person is celebrating me even when I feel that like I have not really done something magnanimous, something humongous, right? You tend to see a mentor from another perspective when they come around to celebrate with you, no matter how little it is, be it little wins, be it big wins, right? Learn to celebrate your mentees, and they would forever be grateful to you when you do that. All right, so that's number 5. Then moving on to the penultimate number, which is number 6, it is only give constructive criticism. Now, we are in a part of the world that over the years, people tend to bring you down with their words. They feel that, like, when they compare you with other people, when they say that, like, can't you see your mate and all that, it would ginger you to want to do better. It would, what's ginger in English? Ginger is ginger. Anyway, all right. It would push you to want to do better in life. But if you're always bringing down people, if you're always trying to, like, compare them with people, on the long run, you're going to crush their self-esteem. And when you do that, people would draw back from you. So if you need to criticize any of their work, rather than just bringing them down, applaud them for the things that, like, they've done right. Then show them that, like, hey, this part here, you could actually do it in this particular way. You could do a better version of what you've done. Now, you're criticizing their work, but in a constructive manner in which would actually make them to become better than what they are at that point in time. So constructive criticism is very, very key as a mentor. All right, so that you will not bring the self-worth of your mentee down. You will not crush their worth. You would not make them see themselves lesser than who they actually are. And then the last but not least on my list is learn to open doors for your mentees. All right, as a mentor, it is one of the things, or one of the roles you play in their life, is someone who opens doors for them, someone who lifts them up on your shoulder, so that, like, they can actually see the world beyond what they could see on a very good day. So learn to open doors for your mentees. Bring them up to your level, right? Show them around to those that you have actually networked with. And over time, I know that, like, not everybody would be appreciative of this part of the point that, like, I listed out, but the one person that would actually be appreciative of what you're doing on the long run would actually take, like, would take you beyond the point that you are at that point in time. All right, because this is like a give and take, a karma kind of thing, affair, right? You give to someone, it may not be like all the food that you've given to may not come back to give back to you, but that one person that would come back to give to you would actually amaze you beyond what every other person that, like, you've actually given to would probably be able to do for you on the long run. So learn to open doors for other people so that they can actually soar, they can grow as well, and you would see how beautiful you would make their life to become. And on the long run, it would also impact your own life, and you also would grow as well. And this brings us to the end of today's episode. I'll quickly highlight the points again. I said the first point is have a solid communication with your mentees. Number 2 is learn to listen to them. All right. Number 3 is set achievable goals for your mentees. Number 4 is earn their trust. Number 5 is celebrate their wins. Number 6 is only give constructive criticism. And number 7 is open doors for them. I can actually see somebody commenting right now. And Mr. John Asiegbu, thank you very much for that. Thank you for your comment. All right, so these are the 7 points that I have for today. And I can assure you that if you do that to your mentees, they would rarely forget you. Now, I know that, like, being a mentor to someone can actually be for a season, it may not be for life, right? But for that moment that, like, you impacted into their lives, they would always and forever remember what you have done for them. But before I leave today, please make sure to like and subscribe. If you're watching from YouTube or on Facebook, also share with your loved ones and tell somebody about the show. My name remains Adam Solwafemi Olajide. I have a sore throat right now. I want to go and rest. And I will see you again this coming weekend. As I always say, be the best version God has created you to be. From me to you, have a great evening. Bye-bye.